The Magicians TV show is one of the best television adaptations of a fantasy book series. For the most part, I've always been a fan of the changes the show has made to the original story. When the show deviates from the novels and adds new elements, they almost always serve a purpose, increasing my enjoyment of the narrative and helping me learn more about the characters' motivations. However, this doesn't mean that the Magicians isn't capable of making a misstep, especially when it comes to handling more sensitive topics that the story's themes and plots explore. The Magicians TV show surpasses the book when it comes to character dynamics, but there are plenty of ways that the series fails its characters as well. As an adult fantasy series, The Magicians tackles serious topics throughout its run, which serve as a clear reflection of real-world issues. From the beginning, The Magicians tells its characters and the audience that magic can't solve the world's problems. However, when it comes to some of the book's issues, I wish The Magicians cut certain scenes that hurt the characters and stunned the audience. I wish The Magicians had cut the Julia scene I still have trouble reading in the books. The show could have left out this devastating moment. In The Magicians Season 1 finale, Julia's character is sexually assaulted, and the portrayal of the scene is more graphic than anything else in the series up to that point. This moment hugely impacts Julia and her character's choices moving forward, but it always struck me as needlessly gratuitous and unsettling. While there is a place for discussions about sexual violence and the stories of survivors in media, it should be handled with more delicacy than the way The Magicians approaches it. Julia is a hugely important character, and this scene isn't fair to her or the audience. All 5 seasons of The Magicians have their strengths and weaknesses, but portraying such a violent moment in Season 1 is one of the series' low points. As Season 1 progresses, the show becomes more violent and less episodic, placing an increasing focus on the overarching narrative. However, this doesn't change how shocking Julia's assault is. It feels as though it comes out of nowhere. It's likely that The Magicians decided to incorporate this into the show because it's in the books. However, even the source material doesn't treat this Julia scene with the care it requires. Neither version of The Magicians handles Julia's rape scene well. The show makes the same mistakes as the books. The way the show characterizes Julia's assault is disappointing, as the books also faced criticism for how the assault was described. I hoped that the series would take a different approach or cut this moment entirely. Julia already faces lots of hardships and is up against overwhelming odds throughout The Magicians Season 1. I felt for her throughout the episodes. Quentin leaves her behind for break bills and doesn't look back even though she's struggling. After everything Julia goes through, she doesn't deserve such a painful conclusion to the season. In The Magicians books, Julia's story is barely in the first installment. The reveal of what happens to her with the Free Trader Beowulf group comes much later. Throughout The Magician King, flashbacks explain Julia's backstory, but this is woven into the show's first season instead. While it centers Julia's character as a foil to Quentin, that the series doesn't alter what Reynard the Fox does to her is an injustice. The Magician King portrays this moment graphically, and the TV adaptation does the same. Then it makes the mistake of turning her into a villain.